I know it's here somewhere. Finally. Oh, it's time for the doctor. You're listening to Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Take it away, Doctor.
Well, it's that time again, and the doctor is in. It's time once again for Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. And on the show today, we have multiplied stuff, but all about AI. AI. We'll see about that. We are proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's right here on Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. We're also proud members of the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. You know, I've talked about in the past that I don't even know if they're still around, that organization, but it just sounds like such fun to say that. You can always go to our website, drbill.tv, drbill.tv, as it says there on the screen. Now, about AI. Here's the thing about AI. I've been in the computer world for many years, as you can tell from the gray beard. At any rate, here's the thing about it. Way back in 1982-3 time frame, my boss at work, I was at that time a senior programmer. That was my title. Technically, I was a system engineer in the VAX computer world. Do you go back far enough to remember digital VAX computers? They're mini computers, not mainframe, not PC personal computers, but a little higher than that, mini computer. And our computer system was a big, massive computer room full of equipment computer system, and I was a system engineer at Ciba-Geigy Corporation. Yes, I have actually showed you video in the past of me putting hardware into the VAX computer. Indeed. At any rate, my boss at the time asked me to look into this new thing. Gotta remember, it's 1982-3 time frame. This new thing called artificial intelligence. And so I started looking into it, and I was like, yeah, this is interesting stuff. But it's not really where you can do anything useful with it. At that time, it was just an academic exercise. You know what I mean? So I've been around artificial intelligence studies for many years. But recently, some things started happening in artificial intelligence. And I must say, it's been very interesting. I had one of our viewers say, Dr. Bill, what's your take on AI? Well, this is what it is today. I'm giving you my take on AI. And in order to see that, let's check something out right now.
Although Dr. Bill has known about AI a long time, he is no expert. I don't trust him to get it right.
What do you think of that? They're uppity, aren't they? Snippy artificial intelligence telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I mean, I'll agree to a certain extent. And that is that I'm not up on the latest, greatest. All right, I am no expert. There are experts on the internet that have YouTube channels that talk about all the details of artificial intelligence every single day. This one guy, Matt, I'm going to put his URL up here for his YouTube channel. Subscribe to this guy's channel if you're serious about AI and what's actually going on literally day to day, because he will keep you informed, all right? So, there's that. But then, there's all kinds of art projects that you can do using artificial intelligence. Here's one I did. I told the computer, the chat prompt, I put in there, I wanted an image of a mad scientist with a test tube gloating hysterically over his creation. Okay? And I told it I wanted, high quality image. And this is what I got. There's no test tube. I'll admit the scientist looks insane and is gloating, yes, but no test tube. So it's not perfect. AI is not perfect. And a lot of people have gotten all bent out of shape. It's going to take over the world. Well, yeah. It has the potential to take over the world. We're not quite there yet. Now, way back in the 70s, there was a sci-fi movie that came out called Colossus, the Forbin Project. Now, it came out in the 70s, okay? But here's the thing. That is probably a legitimate possibility, the way things are looking. So if you want to get a real insight into what could happen, check out Colossus, the Forbin Project, all right? It's an old movie. You'll have to search for it, but you can find it if you try hard enough. Okay? So check that out. At any rate, it's gotten to the point that a lot of people who are a lot smarter than you and I in that field have said, maybe we ought to take a pause and just kind of think about this a bit before we let this loose on the world. People are going to do it. Okay, they're going to let it loose. And we're going to have to figure out how to deal with it. Okay? Now, what else can you do? Well, you can create an avatar from a photograph. Check this out.
I am an AI-generated video from a photo. Do you think I can replace Dr. Bill?
What do you think of that? I don't think it's going to take over for me as host of this program. You know what I mean? Okay, but I know the voice didn't match. But here's the thing. Let's try it with an avatar they created with the voice and see if it's any better.
Maybe this avatar matches the voice better. What do you
think of that? Better. Not perfect, but better. Okay. Now, see, you can see I was having fun. And the way all of this works is you go to these different projects. You have to join Discord, for instance, to use Midjourney, which is what I was using for some of my stuff. There are other places that I found other capabilities and use those. But at any rate, you go there, create your Discord account, connect to Midjourney, and you use prompts like a chat box type prompt. And it's how you construct those prompts that determines what you end up with. Now, is this going to put illustrators out of business? Maybe offer them a tool? I don't know. I really don't. Now, my degree is in art way back. When I graduated from UNCG, University of North Carolina, Greensboro, back in 1978, I graduated with a degree in fine art, studio art, painting, printmaking, and photography. Okay? And so, if I were still in the art field, I'd be a little bit concerned about some of these image creation technologies. But it could also be a tool. It just depends on how you look at it, right? Your perspective. Now, what about programmers? If anybody's going to be concerned, I think it's the programmers. Because you can literally tell the computer, the chat GPT type artificial intelligence, please write me a program that does this and this and this in this language, let's say Python. It will write the script for you. And it will run it and show you how it runs all in its own little world, its own little environment. And then if you find a mistake or you don't quite like the output, you can tell it, change this and do that. You don't have to touch the code. You let it write the code. Now, if people get really good at this whole prompting business, then I can see where coders might be sweating it. Okay? Now, I know the coders among you are going to go, yeah, well, I don't think they can take over my job because I have a deep understanding of it. Okay. Then don't worry. But you know the guys that made the buggy whips? They eventually went out of business. I'm just saying, it's something to think about, okay? So anyway, let's see. Have I covered all the different things? I talked about the mad scientist, talked about the, yeah, I think I did. As far as it goes, the examples that I came up with, I think I've kind of covered. But this is, do we have anything to be concerned about? That's the big question everybody seems to want to answer. And the answer is probably. Probably we do. But we got to be smart about this. And there are going to be people that say, you know, if AIs really do take on their own intelligence and personality and sentience and so forth, will they need to be given rights? Well, if they're conscious, intelligent beings, yes. I'm enough of a sci-fi fan and a Star Trek fan that the trial of Mr. Data on Star Trek, The Measure of a Man, that episode, is a good crucible of what would probably begin to happen in the next few years. Legal definition of an artificial intelligence as a person. We got a lot of weird things ahead of us in the future, okay? So I hope this has struck your thinking. If you're interested in it, like I say, go check out that guy's channel that I mentioned earlier. And I'll put the URL up again. Really, that is one of the best sources I have found for a day-to-day coverage of AI. And as the AI said earlier, I am not the expert that I would like to be. But I'm going to keep tinkering, and we'll see what comes out of that. So until next time, remember that the doctor is out of here.
Dr. Bill, the Computer Curmudgeon, is a production of drbillbailey.net with all the honors, rights, and privileges thereunto appertaining.
If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ding the bell to be notified of future videos.